Hey, and welcome back to Security Best Practices Training. It's your training specialist, Marianne, with another video. In this one, we're going to look at a couple of examples of phishing and point out some of the red flags. Here are a couple of emails that were sent to a client of ours. I covered their name with the orange squares, but these are great examples of what we went over in previous videos. I'll give you a few seconds to look before I point out the red flags. Okay, did you spot a couple? Let's start with verify the sender. These look more like secure passwords than a domain. And it's obviously not a Microsoft domain. This next one's a little bit trickier. Yes, Office 365 is the product, and orange is their color, but it isn't the correct font, and there's no hyphen in their name. They spelled the name of the product wrong. This next one's also a little hard to spot, but they also spelled Microsoft wrong. It's missing an O, so it's just Microsoft. And at one of my recent trainings, someone pointed out that it's also the Microsoft security team, while at the top it says it's from the administrators team. So keep an eye out for that sort of inconsistency. And lastly, poor grammar. Some mails is not the right way to talk about email. The "you will be barred" is kind of bizarre writing as well. I mean, I can guess what being barred from email would look like, but there's many better ways to say lose access. You also may note that they're using this 24-hour deadline to cause panic and try to get someone to act fast without taking the time to think. This next email is one that was sent to me. It ended up in my spam folder, so the images were stripped. Otherwise, those would be Apple logos. Obviously, they want me to click that See Build link, and who knows what infectious malware lies in wait for me. If you're doing the checks we did before, you can also see right away that apple@cybermesa.com is not apple.com. When I saw this email, I saw it while I was developing this training, and I was like, great, another email I can add to my examples. And I wanted to use this one to demonstrate the hovering over the link trick. But for some reason, I started at the bottom, and lo and behold, that is an actual Apple link. They took the time to copy and paste the whole Apple email format to make it seem more legitimate. The middle is the only part that's different. You can see the link is even a different color blue, so it is a little sloppy, so there's a couple things that you can point out. But then if I hover over the link, it's going to a weird address that is very much not Apple. So do beware of copy and pasted email format or signatures, because those can trip anyone up. Next up, we'll talk a little more about malware and personal security. I'll see you there.